Well, welcome to the journey. My name is Kevin Polky, and I am the host of the journey. And we have just wrapped up the month of September, and that was Suicide Awareness Month. And we're now moving into October, and that is for us, we in my realm of my most of the people that I interact with, this is moving into Mental Health Awareness Month. So we just had the Suicide Awareness Month, and now we're moving to Mental Health Awareness Month. And we have a couple different guests on the last couple weeks. Xavier Whitford was with us last week. She was a former board member of Shatter Our Silence, and has been a huge advocate in the Rockford area regarding turning her pain of losing her son 7 years ago to suicide, and moving into a level of purpose. Will Crandall has his own story of recovery and what he is attempting to do with his initiative of Screw City Uprising that Shatter Our Silence was part of. And then Laura Kane came on a few weeks ago, and she shared her story of her grieving process and what she did over the last 3 years after Zachary died from suicide as well. But what I'd like to do right now is kind of recap a very special event that happened on September 30th last week. It was a pretty amazing moment. Uh, that was Shatter Our Silence has been now in existence for 5 years. Once a year, we have a fundraiser, and we've done a handful of different things to attempt to raise funds for our awareness campaigns, as well as for our educational efforts. Um, SOS, as some of you may know, is a nonprofit that focuses on raising awareness and educating young adults, their significant others, meaning siblings, family members, friends, and the professionals that work with them on the factors that lead to young adult suicide. Our primary initiative is to uh, not only to educate individuals who are in the darkness for resources and knowing they're not alone, and knowing that there is help, and educating them on mental illness as well as on suicide, but it's also targeting the other, let's say, 75% of the population who may not struggle with any form of mental illness or depression or being in that darkness, but we know that they will have someone at some point in their life come to them struggling, and we want them to be better prepared on what to do, how to interact with their friends or loved ones or family members, and then also have access to resources for them. But this particular night on Thursday, September 30th, we came together with individuals that are sponsors, donors, fans, individuals that are supporters of SOS. We met at the Lombardi Club. It was a smaller venue than we've had in the past, not knowing for sure how COVID was going to impact and the restrictions that we had. And we had a little over 150 individuals come that night. We had background music played by Michael Kelly. He has played for us a handful of other times. Steve Shannon was our MC. Just did an absolutely phenomenal job of engaging the audience, using a combination of humor as well as understanding the serious and the brevity of what we were doing. Our guest speaker was Laura Kane, as I mentioned earlier, as she shared her story and her testimony, and then what is she doing with her hero program to help the what she refers to as the Zows, or the Zacharys of the world. It's a twofold. One, it's a mentoring program to help the adults who are involved with the program as they become mentors for at-risk youth, or those, as she coins, the Zows, Zacharys of the world. So it serves both the mentor as well as the mentee. And we talked a little bit about where SOS came from, and I also shared where we're moving into the direction regarding our awareness campaigns moving into the future, partnering with media such as WTVO and radio stations, and continuing the social media blast that we've been doing. And then educationally, what are we going to be doing? We're looking at not only our in person and live in person talks that we've reached over 20,000 students from grade school all the way up to university students, but we are going to be creating opportunities to do virtual or hybrid opportunities that are live. And then we're going to be making videos that can be licensed so that school districts can utilize utilize that at their leisure for a given amount of time. I think though, probably for me, watching the interaction between the individuals and sensing just this common togetherness that was happening with these. There was three to four different school districts that were represented there, variety of different businesses, a handful of different political figures that were there, but most importantly, there were individuals that had either been impacted by suicide directly by a family member or a friend, or they knew someone that had been. And I think that in itself, to me, was definitely one of those God moments. The people were able to be involved, to be a light in others' darkness by having volunteer opportunities, by being able to purchase Shatter Our Silence shirts or other type of merchandise we have, or having a sticker or having a bracelet. And then as well as we had individuals have an opportunity to donate. At the door that night, I think we raised close to $3,000. It looks like, we don't have the final numbers, that we should be somewhere between 12 and 14,000, which would be the most successful event that we've had up to this point. What we stress with Shatter Our Silence is the idea that it's an invitation to be part of the solution, that together we can prevent suicide. Together, not one person, but together we can prevent suicide. And most importantly, that light that is within all of us, how can we let our light burn bright so that we can be a light in others' darkness? Thank you for listening. If you believe anyone may need to hear any of the words that I just shared in the last 5 to 10 minutes, please share this and take care of you so that you can be a light in others' darkness.